Okay, now we should be streaming, I believe. Let me just double check. I think we're live now. Took me a second, honestly. A little bit of a boomer moment for me, but it should say that if you click on the stream, there we go. Hey, what up, Danny? Can you actually see my stream, or is it like, does it still say waiting for and all that jazz? Like, what does it show for you? Oh, there we go, live. So why does it say waiting? Does it show up normally for you? Let me just see. I wonder if it actually... Oh, it does. Never mind. Cool. Okay. So, we'll do that. Hopefully the chat is up to date on here. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so... yeah, so should have the live chat. Basically, we're using the mic that allows me to use my headphones as a headset, and it sounds pretty decent considering that. And it just is useful for being in a dorm. So game plan, oh, that looks really nice. Game plan for today's flight is we're gonna take off in the Cirrus, in the Toliss. And then we are going to do our briefing for our Cirrus flight once we're in the cruise portion of this flight. And then we'll load up into the Cirrus and do a flight there. So here we are, the beautiful Toliss A319. We are in Raleigh, Durham. Pretty decent airport. Also got world traffic set up as well. So got a pretty decent looking setup here. Anywho, let's come down here to the MCDU. We'll go init, and we'll go ATSU, AOC, flight init. Get the data link in, and that'll just get us our flight plan. Let me make sure I have all of my stuff set up. So under charts, I actually have downloaded our flight plan. Here we go. Fuck. It should be this, January 25th. Okay. So American 416 to service to Philadelphia. Alternates JFK. Looking pretty decent on fuel. All of that jazz. Again, weather is really pretty piss poor here. But yeah, we'll go ahead and align the IRS. We basically have set ourselves up so that it automatically refuels and sets the weights once we have that. So we just need to put in the flight plan in here. We'll do that. So 2-3 left on the Oxford 5 departure and Carmel transition. Let's go ahead and do that. We first need the airports, and then we'll do the departure, the Oxford 5 RNAV departure. Okay. So from BB-Doll, I think, there we go. From BB-Doll, we can actually see the flight plan here. So Carmel, BB-Doll, Philadelphia, we're going to be taking in, we'll just put in the arrival, which is the PATS 4 arrival, and the BB-Doll transition. And there we go, BB-Doll, and then there's the PATS 4. We got 3 people up in here, damn. This should be the live chat, hopefully. Anywho, there's BB-Doll, and there is all of that. So vectors in. Iris has aligned as well. So that's good. Constraints, we'll put airports on there. 390 is what we're... Well, actually, we'll just do it via what the SID tells us to do. Let's go to our charts real quick. So we can expect takeoff minimums, top altitude jet 6,000. So we can expect 6,000 as assigned by ATC. Now we might actually, we're not on ATC right now, but that's what we can expect, and that's what we're going to brief for. Climb on a assigned heading for radar vectors to cross PV at or above 2,500, then on track 025 to Oxford. So that's right there. There's a 025 track from Oxford. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take, go down to the MCDU, and we'll go to our fix info page here, and I'm just going to put a couple stuff in our fix info, and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to put in our Oxford, so OXFRD. I'm going to take the inverse of this, so I'm going to add 200 to get 225, and then that means 205 radial is going to be, so a 205 radial from the Oxford waypoint, point, whatever you want to call it. And that gives us UTC distance, where UTC expected to cross the Oxford fix, distance to go, and expected altitude, that kind of stuff. The reason why is because we're going to be tracking to 025 when we're at Oxford. So I want to draw a inverse radial from Oxford, and we can see that here. There it is. So that's what I want to draw. The next thing that I want to draw in here is, actually, before we do all of that, I kind of want to start up our APU. Just the basics here. Look at the battery voltage. Anywho, APU master's on, and then we'll come down here. I think I have the live chat set up. I do have that set up. Good. So I can go into wind, and we'll just get the wind request going. That's good. Okay. So the next thing in here is we have climb on an assigned heading for radar vectors. So 05, we're going to be basically on a north heading. If we just straight out depart a north-northeast heading. So we could honestly just do runway heading and then go direct, right? That's what we can sort of, like, if you look here at the airport and we look at runway 5 left, this is on a 054 heading, right? So we'll be going on runway heading. So we'll put that in. We'll put in KRDU 5 left in the fix info. KRDU 5 left, which is the run. KRDU 05 left. Okay. We'll do the runway heading. We'll put that in. Flaps open. So chart that up. Okay. 054. We'll put that in here. 054 radial. That's just runway heading, right? So there you go. Put this in nav. There's 054 radial. That's just runway heading, which is fine. That's good. Secondary, we'll copy the active, and we're gonna say if we, if for contingencies, right? If we need to come back to land, we'll pick the longest runway that's in favor of the winds, which is gonna be 5 left. And we'll just say ILS 5 left, and insert that in. So there we go. So there's a secondary and flight plan, and you can see that's going to be reflected up on the MFD. The next thing that we can do is under perf, we have the perf information, and we can just go to the approach, and we'll just get that set in here as well. So we'll go in approach ILS 5. Again, we shouldn't need to abort our takeoff, but there's always that chance that we do, right? So MP's available, we'll get that, we'll get some bleed air going. Why not get our beacon on as well? While we're at it, brake accumulator pressures in the green, which means that we can get the chocks and external power out of the way. And the door should close here. Just get that. That's good. All right. So what we can do is we'll just take a look here. So our MDA, right? Our MDA is going to be in MSL, so 598 MSL or 214 AGL. We'll put in 598 MSL in here, and then we'll get all of the. I don't know why that says Q and H, which is strange because we should be in inches. So that's strange, but anywho. We'll go ahead and plan for the pushback here. All the doors are closed. So, better pushback. Actually, let's see if I even remember the way we're pushing back. Tail left. Okay. So.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to
go. We can push back like this, and then we can go to the active taxiway, which is right there. So, this is still the non-movement area, uncontrolled ramp, that type of jazz.
Toliss driving up.
Okay, this is just going to be from our weather. So, 210 at 8. Overcast 21 degrees on the temperature. Altimeter 3015. Okay. So that's all done. So we can get our perf page set up here, uplink. So we'll put that same thing in here. Winds were 210 at 8. And contamination, we'll say it's a wet runway. Do we tell how much?
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Light rain, so we'll just say it's a wet runway. And then we'll just request the takeoff data. The next thing that we need to do is go into a RadNav page because we need to make sure that if we're headed back into, taking the approach, we have the right stuff plugged in. So what we'll do in here is we'll make sure we're on the localizer, which is 109.1. So we'll put that on the ILS 109.1, which is identified as IGKK. And course, oh, well.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
That's interesting. We'll keep it on this for now, but if we do need to do that, it's going to be that. Anywho, I guess we'll just keep it on the init page for now.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Also, I do have my TCA, Thrustmaster TCA stuff, which is pretty awesome, so I can go ahead and we'll start up engine number 2 here. And we'll just do a flex takeoff and insert that. Secondary, if we look at the perf page, we just need to copy that information. So it's going to be 125, 133, 135. Same transition altitude, flexing to 71. And flaps is 1 up 0.4. Okay. Climb, that's fine. Cruise, that's fine. Descent and approach. Secondaries plan, this is good. We'll get this on the perf page. Go flight plan on here. Wait till the veil light comes on the right engine. I don't know if the window has the rain effects. It does not have the rain effects. Oh, one thing I need to do, which I totally forgot, is I don't use Xenviro anymore, so we can actually have window reflections and have it make it look a little bit nicer. This is not ideal, but nonetheless. Alright, we'll go ahead and start up engine number 1 here. Hear the PTU bark. It's gonna ask us to set our park and brake in a moment. Predictive wind shear, and we'll have this on system 1, and we'll have this on the terrain radar. This is on the weather radar. Okay. Good to go.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Park brakes. Look how nice the textures are on this. Really nice.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay. Alright. And the reason why I'm choosing to stream on YouTube now is we have ultra wide. And once I have the new stream elements like set up correctly, it is really gonna look nice. So pretty excited about that. Okay, both engines are started, veil lights on, so switch it back to mode normal here. On that. We're doing one set of flaps, and we'll arm the spoilers. We want an up trim of about 0.4 units.
Has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time, and have fun up there.
This should be there, and we'll do a flight control check as well. Don't need our APU bleed air anymore, and we don't need our APU anymore as well. So let's do a quick flight control check here. Elevators work fine. Ailerons work fine as well. Which is good. Let me just make sure my chair setup is nice and cozy, or as cozy as I can get it to be. And then rudders are working fine as well, which is always good to have. And then basically all that's remaining in here is oops. What was I going to do? I was going to I have my tiller set up, so there's my tiller. Cool. Park brake coming off. Mode switch should be more normal, and we'll go ahead and taxi on out. Cool. Wondering what this Delta is doing. But okay, I think we're about to collide. I think we're about to collide here, yeah. Well. Oh yeah, auto brakes max. Takeoff config normal. Sing the cabin. Engine oil low temperature. Okay, so we'll just monitor that. Before we take off, we're just gonna make sure that the oil temperature rises a little bit. That's basically it. Rest of everything remains unchanged. So we're gonna take Bravo 1. And I'm at idle taxiing right now. Like, throttles are idle. So, pretty cool. Rest of this looks fine. I'm thinking about changing that transition speed. I don't really like it being at like if I change it to 0.5, for example. Oops. Let's take a look at that. I think that's nice. Well, I think 0.3 is good. 0.3. I think 0.5 is good. It's nice and sort of lengthy. So that's what we'll do. I'll just have to edit the other ones to reflect that. So we'll do that. There's Bravo 2. We're taking Bravo 1. There's some deltas. Bon Kizzle, what's up? It's I can't stop changing my name. Hey, what's up? It's been a minute. For sure. How you doing? So this is my first stream in a while, but mainly The main thing is I need to set up the stream overlay, and there's not going to be any webcam for the time being, but the quality is a lot nicer than it is on Twitch here. So, yeah, anywho, we'll say American 419 or whatever we are, clear for takeoff. Get some landing lights on. We can start up the chrono. And there's our departure plate. Look at that elevation difference. That's actually wild to me. "10,000 feet, got plenty of runway to work with." We'll keep it on slow. Alright. Man flex, SRS climb. And we should have the runway nav and that jazz up in a moment here. Alright. Did the winds shift? Holy shit, the winds shifted on us. Alright, positive rate gear up. We did select... Anywho. I think if you look at... That's funny. That is funny. Anywho. We need to be on this heading here. It's been a minute since I've flown an Airbus. Damn. Okay. We'll proceed direct to PV. Flaps up. Landing lights. Actually, no, hold on. We'll keep them on. The nose light we can retract. Did we take off of the wrong... Shit, we took off... yeah, okay. Whoops. I was like, something doesn't make sense if we have a tailwind on our departure there. That makes sense. Anywho. That's... Yikes. Okay. We'll say ATC cleared us up to 390. Yeah, that was, we're not going to talk about that. What's our temperature? Outside our temperature... I don't think we have any icing conditions here. I didn't see any airmet segment type deal. So, pretty good. Yeah, so we're just gonna, like, pretend that that didn't happen. Oh my god. Because I was so into the Jesus Christ. Anyway, look, that wing flex looks a lot nicer. Alright. Does look, yeah, we're just gonna pretend that we didn't take off the wrong runway there. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Jesus Christ. Okay. Anywho. Yeah, so we're gonna do this flight, and then we're gonna do the flight in the Cirrus. Alright, so we can actually start planning out that flight in the Cirrus. Actually, we'll do it after you get to see the breakout. What I'm gonna do real quick is I'm just gonna take off my sweater because it's hot. Holy shit, yeah, we're not gonna fly into a cell, are we? Dude, I go for 1 second, and then I see this giant-ass cell to our left. So, yeah, no, we're not doing that bullshit. So, yeah, guys, if you ever... Holy shit, that's... Yeah. We're not doing that. Because we're gonna die if we fly through that. So maybe there is a segment. Hold on. Let me just not talk out of my ass. Maybe there is a segment. Now let's just look at this. See what we got. Yeah. Some convect. Wait, no. Raleigh is KRDU is in Raleigh, Durham. The only thing I can see is this convective. It's moving east though. Embedded thunderstorms moving from 250 tops to 430. It's the only segment that I can see. But this is still bad. Like, we do not want to be flying into this anvil. Pretty bad.
Camera is synced.
This looks really good though. Alright. This is a little bit better. And now we'll proceed direct to Harvey. And we should be good. Absolutely nuts though. Okay, so let's start planning out, because that's actually exactly how I plan out these GA flights. Is I just look at AWC to tell me where what like kind of weather conditions we can expect, and then from there we go. So see how this is a warm front and a low pressure area. The warm front is going to be in like this. This warm air mass is going to be right around here, and it's going to be a low pressure area. So we're not going to fly there. You're going to get crummy weather along this. Like if you look up, let's just say KB&A Matar right now. See what their weather is like. Low IFR, overcast, calm winds obviously. But look at this depiction here. Right? So we're not going to fly in shit like this. This is not that bad, although I kind of want to see what would happen in that another area of low pressure. This is interesting. This well, not really. This is nice. An area of high pressure. This is a stationary front with a low pressure system. A couple of high pressure systems out in Cali, and then you have what, maritime tropical over here pushing through. But if you look at what's under here, and for shits and giggles, if we look at Phoenix, for example, observations, look at this. This is, oh, what's this, PIREP? Rime icing. Awesome, that's not what I wanted, but where is it? I want to see icing, what we can expect. Holy shit, that is disastrous. But let's take a look at, let's just say 9,000. Yeah, the 9,000 MSL. And if we're flying in this area anyways, we're gonna be expecting that. Oh, that is, hold on, that is beautiful. Let's just take some pictures real quick. Yeah, that's actually beautiful. Damn. You don't like MSFS? Not really. I haven't flown MSFS in... I have it installed, you know, if I type in... Well, I have it installed, but I'm planning on uninstalling it. Okay, so icing, we have quite a decent amount of icing conditions here. Jesus, it's getting hot in my dorm room. I need to amend that. What is this? Convective thunderstorms? Awesome. But there's icing, a lot of icing, and what's concerning is this air met, freezing level, and due to ice, moderate. And at 3,000, so... You know, yes, there's icing. I moved over to MSFS like this summer last year. Oh, wow. I mean, it's just not a simulator for me. My concern is if you look at so as icing severity, probability is also pretty high in here, right? But what I want to see here is we can go into a clouds and we have an idea of that. So flying into Phoenix, for example, probably is not going to be a smart idea if we can't climb above the clouds and we can't see what I mean? Like, let's just go imagery for now and then let's look at the clouds real quick. See how, so it's sky conditions clear, right? If we're flying in this area and we have icing, we know there's icing conditions. And it's few at 9 or 1,000, and we choose, or here's a better depiction. Broken at 7,000, tops to 27,000, and a clear above that, okay? And we're in our little Cirrus, and we decide to fly at 9 or 1,000. And we know there's icing here too. That is suicide. That is suicide. So we're not gonna do that. And here you can see some mountain obscurations, but anything that's kind of below this line here, so this part of it, that part of it, and if you look at the surface analysis, there's that high pressure system, and here's that low pressure system. So really, it's the southern portion of Arizona that's going to give you this, and even extends to this area of New Mexico. So that's pretty good. Texas also is fairly clear. We'll just use ForeFlight because I'm not going to open up 20 different tabs. Okay. Yeah. This is also pretty good, and again, if we look at it's just this alley right here extending from New Mexico up to, what's that, Kansas? Is that Kansas? We also don't want this. That's pretty bad, and there's icing there too. Not a good idea, but this area here, pretty decent. This is again icing. Texas is a fine idea. That's actually very, look at the clouds over here. In Florida, overcast 600, tops to 20,000, clear above that. But there's, on the southern portion of Florida is totally fine, and I think that's what we can do. I think for the sake of our flight, well, look at this, we got a cold front moving up, or moving away, but this one's coming in too. So if you look at, let's say, 6 hours, I'm just going to give you a precip, but if you look at, this is what, 1939, Zulu. So this is yikes. Okay, anywho. We can fly in California. We could also fly in. I don't like this idea. I mean, this is bad. And then they go up north and there's icing because we have this stationary front. That's kind of like what we had here in Illinois. Anywho, this is nice. We have we also have a low pressure system and then a cold front right here. But in western Texas is totally fine. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually just set that out to western Texas here, and we'll plan out our flight. What is this? Okay, TFR. So something like this is good. So, like here, as far as picking an airport, picking an airport goes. I like to turn off this and then just pick it off of how I like. So we know it's going to be in this part of Texas. This looks like it's pretty cool. This has a lot of like mountainous areas. This is Marfa. I wonder what the height is of this right here. 7,900, 8,700. So, and our little naturally aspirated Cirrus, we could fly over that mountain range, fly east of that mountain range too, and be fine for the most part. We'll do that. We'll go KMRF to KMAF maybe. It's about 133 nautical miles, so that's fine. We'll do this in the naturally aspirated, and we'll choose, because if we think about the density altitude here, we can actually, you on VATSIM, we're offline right now, but if we take a look at like the density altitude, so when we have 4,218 because our altimeter 29907. Okay. So, I mean, that density altitude is going to be higher than if we file to something. Let's see what they tell us to do. Too short for 15,000 is what they recommend. So, pretty nice tailwinds. Yeah, we'll do that, and that'll be good. So yeah, we'll do that. Let's send that to the flights. Time, yeah, that's actually we'll say CST today. Let's just say 5:32 is our estimated time of departure. And alternate, what is our alternate gonna be? We have a planning. Oh, that's cool. Hold up. IFR planning. That's cool. But we'll just use IFR low route. Icing. Don't have to worry about that. Clouds. Don't have to worry about that. Surface analysis. Just some pressure gradients, but for the most part, fine. Winds aloft. Nice. Sky coverage, ceiling. But well, we can say next we can say Dallas Fort Worth, honestly, as our alternate. We have enough to make that. We'll just be carrying more alternate fuel. So for that sake, instead of picking a flight that takes us all the way there, we can choose an alternate that's maybe west, so like Hob, for example. Let's just do that, K Hob. Okay. And IFR 15,000. It's gonna have a 24 knot tailwind, and it's pretty good. So average weight, we'll just say 140 is our average weight. Did I accidentally disconnect the? No, I did not. Okay, coming up to our cruise altitude here. Okay, fuel policy, we'll just say you can have manual fuel. Manual fuel. So his minimum is 39. right? Maximum landing fuel must be at least 24 to meet alternate reserve requirement. So this is going to give us our alternate of 11, reserves 13 gallons. So that gives us a ramp out weight of 2,600 pounds is what we're looking at, roughly. That's a route. Cruise, I don't think we'll reach 75% power. I think we're going to reach 65% power. What we'll do here, real quick, is we'll get a briefing. We'll generate a briefing here. It's our wind cross chart. Wow, look at that. Actually, we would get a really good wind component if we're at a lower altitude, would we not? Okay, actually, apparently not. Apparently this is our best tailwind. Anywho, let's go back to our briefing. Very nice wind component. Significant weather. Flight level 25, don't need to worry about that. May charge TAFs, so 240, 10, gust 16. A little bit windy. Don't need to worry about anti-ice, and there's no icing threat and no visible moisture, so we're good on that. Destination, the 26th at 0 Zulu. 6 mile plus visibility. The only thing is that visibility is just going to drop a little bit. It's a little bit bad as far as visibility goes. Sigmets over there. Notams. So what I can do is we have this back at our maps page. Very, very simple. We're just taking it to the Forge Station VOR and then to KMAF. Very, very simple flight plan. Tree 900, 21 from top of descent. We'll start. Look at that. That timing worked out perfectly. Let's load up Philadelphia now. Oops. Okay, don't know why that's not loading in for me, but nonetheless, let's go arrival, Pat's for arrival, and what's our procedure? We're taking calm wind, so we could honestly, what are we filed for? 09, right? From Pat's on track 0 to Chernobyl, then to Wevy, then on track to 68 radar vectors. 2,600. We'll put that, or yeah, 6,000, 14,000. So let's put in 2,600 into the MCP panel here. Okay. And put that in managed descent. So we'll look at the approaches for 9 left, was it, that we're looking at? 9 or right. Oops. So 9 right. We have the ILS. Real quick, let me just take a look at the ceilings. Broken 1,400 AGL. Few at 500 AGL. So, there you go. Should it need to do Cat 2 approach, that'll take us to lower minimum. Like, this minimums is perfectly fine. So, we'll do that. We also, because if you look at the Ernie is what we're seeing here. So, initial approach fix 152. We're on a 055, it looks like. No, 268. But if you look at the RNAV, the GPS and the RMP, the GPS, we have Medina, DuPont, Woodston, all these VORs. This is 029, this is 155, this is the missed approach. And if you look at the RNP, this is the missed, DuPont. So we'll just take ILS 9 left. And no, was it ILS 9 left or right? Can't remember. What did I just say? 9 right, the Zulu. And we should expect radar vectors to that. Cool. Okay. RadNav should be put into iFill. What's your 9.3? Approach course 87. So let's just say, whoops. IPHL. Well, the thing is, this is technically an outdated chart. 26th January 18. If you look at the bottom here, Jeppesen 2018. So take it with a grain of salt, but nonetheless. Okay. We just need destination data, honestly. So approach. Winds calm. Temperature. I don't know why that all of a sudden just doesn't work anymore. It's strange. Temperature 11. Altimeter 301 Decision height, we're gonna say 221 MSL. And that's all set. Okay. That's good. I mean, we already did that. We could just brief the flight plan in a bit. All right. Sending down. There's green dot. So, I guess something that we can use is the airport info. So, as far as gates go, we're looking at C gates. So we're looking here. We're coming in on 9er right. So here, 12,000 foot runway. Uniform is where we want to get off by, honestly. I mean, we can take it down. I mean, obviously, if we get to take uniform, probably Toliss taxi via Sierra. I mean, you could take a Sierra November, or you could say taxi via Sierra Mike, cross 9 left, 27 right, K3 to the ramp, you know, Kilo 3. But for the most part, we're pretty much okay on that. It's so hot in here. Hold, give me a second. How's your IRL flight stuff going? It's going great. You know, I've got a shit ton of hours right now. Just pummeling through the 141 training course. Yeah. So let me take a look. That initial approach fix, well, not an initial approach fix because that's the initial approach fix, and we're not taking MXC, we're taking the intermediate fix. That's about 11 miles out and 3,000, so let's put that in here. Honestly, we could go low on auto brakes and be totally fine with that. I'm working towards my pre-PL right now. Hope to have it by next year. Awesome, dude. Keep it up. That was honestly a fun time getting my private. So right now I'm kind of just doing my courses. My next rating is my instrument rating, and that should hopefully come next year, next fall. And then shortly after, in the springtime of 2025, I should have my commercial. And I'll probably either start multi or CFI. I'm not sure which one first, but it'll be one of those. So, yeah. Ugh. Flying is honestly just really fun. Yeah, for sure. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and fill up my water bottle real quick. That way I can head out to the gym in a little... basically, once we finish this here flight, I'm going to head out to the gym. So I will be right back, guys. Alright, so let's take a look here. This huge ass anvil cloud. Doesn't look like we can really dodge through it, so it looks like we're gonna have to fly through it. Which kinda sucks. So, was it 3013? There we go. What the fuck? Oh, let's make sure we're not gonna go into some icing here. Outside our temperature. What did we say it was? We said it was 11 degrees. Should be fine. You have visible moisture though. But into the soup we go. So we'll probably do here, because we can expect vectors. We want 90 degrees less than what our heading is going to be at what we're flying now, which is track 69, so we'll see. Get all landing lights on. Right. Alright, let's make that turn. Vectors for final. And let's see. This goes there, so we'll do about 700 feet per minute. Should be good. 18 miles. Once we get to here, we're about 11 miles. So. There we go. We'll choose 1,200 feet per minute. Then we can shallow it out to reduce that descent rate. Shell it out now. We should probably be good. We just want to cross at or below 3,000 to intercept the localizer. Oops. Whoa. Mouse is a little bit suspicious. I'm gonna arm the speed brakes and let's go down to the perf. Go ahead and activate the approach phase. We need a little bit of drag. Okay, and we'll arm approach. A little bit more perpendicular to the localizer here. Just we're a little bit high, so let's bring that down a little bit. There's the localizer. Go gear down. Get some speed brakes out to help out with that descent rate. And that airspeed. Okay, gears down, 3 green and locked. There's a glide slope. So flaps 1. We'll arm speed brakes. That descent should lighten up here. There we go. Eight miles out. Definitely want that speed to drop a little bit more. Alright. Go flaps 2. Arm speed brakes. Not even sure why it's like, I guess because of the sunset, but yeah, I guess it is because of the sunset. Alright, flaps 3. Some integrated lighting here. There we go. And flaps full. There's a runway. And there's that 6+ mile visibility that you're seeing as well. So, pretty good. Jesus.
200 flight slow minimum.
Yeah, I know. All right. Reversers are out. Cool. All right. We actually vacated way earlier than what I expected. So, that's the good news. Alright, cycle the flight directors. Terrain radar can't come off. And off the predictive wind shear system as well. There's uniform. We want to take Mike. Another ramp. got November coming up. And I want to take Mike. So that's Papa 2. So Mike. Mike, right here. Alright, as we're approaching the runway, we'll just turn on our strobes and landing lights. There we go. And Charlie is just going to be straight in and to our left. Just shy of an hour on this flight, which is not bad. Okay. All right. Go ahead and take this gate right there. Gate C21. Or C23, I should say. There's our marshaller. Okay. Oops. Then we're about to smush this guy. Okay. There we go. Park brake on. Engine 1, engine 2. Wait till our N1 is N2 is below 10%. Beacon light off. Seatbelt sign off. Okay. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Philadelphia there. Lovely flight. Scenery's pretty decent as well. It's got all the essentials. So let's listen to replay mode here. Back it up a little bit. All right. Let's go like here. All right, let's do this. Find that touchdown point, which was right there. Okay. Right about that, like this. Good. Take a look at that landing. No. I need to really quickly change my keybind. This needs to be the replay. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Let's take a look at it from category 1. I'm on YouTube, babe. Alright. So, this scenery is really nice though. Enough of that. What we'll do now is we will... well, untoggle that. And then... what I need to do here is just, really quickly get my thing set up, because I have to change the throttles so that they don't have the detents in them, because right now they are set up so that they have the detents, but I need to just set them up so that they don't have the detents, and then we'll load up in the Cirrus flight here. So we'll do that. In just a second. Can you help me download Flight Factor A350? Dev IG, what's you need to use and how to get all the airports? Sorry I missed those messages. I was in a call, but yeah, I'll answer you in just a second here. I do have IG. I probably am not gonna give out my personal IG. The scenery, so that was a Star Sim scenery. If you're flying any sort of airliner, I highly recommend you get payware scenery. If you're flying to any GA airport, small airport, just stock scenery is plenty fine. So, yep. I'm loading up in the Cirrus now, and that'll be a fun flight. That should be our final flight for tonight, and then after that, I'm off to the gym. So, let's do that. Let's take a look. Here, I completely forgot about the actual flight plan that we're doing. The route, I should say. KMRF is our route. Let's just do that. So this is all of this stuff. I want to make sure the payload is correct. And as far as how it looks on the map, here you go. So we're just taking it to the Fort Stockton VOR. And then we're going from Fort Stockton over to Midland Air and Spaceport. So while we're loading up, what I'm going to do is we're just going to go over a quick briefing. Actually, let me see something real quick. Whoa, man. Okay, hold on, give me a second. Make sure you guys can't see anything. So I need to. Actually, it's fine. I'll do that later. Not gonna risk doing something stupid. Okay. Let's load up in KMRF. Marfa Municipal. There's only one FBO. Let's do it. Let's do it during sunrise. Why not? The SR22, not the turbo, the normally aspirated Abadyne. Whoops. With the autopilot, please. Thank you. Well, I don't know which plane we want to do. I kind of want to do something a little bit more. Oh, you can actually see the interior of all of them. All of them have this beige interior. Except this one. This one has like a dark interior, I think. Let's do that. Let's do this one, Sunside Dawn. And that, and then let's just hit start flight. So quick briefing. Weather here is totally fine as far as runway lengths are concerned. 250, so we're gonna take runway 27. So, never mind, it's dirt poor condition. What are the other runways? We can do 22, asphalt good condition, a 5,000 foot runway. So plenty of runway. Into Midland Airport runway lengths, we're looking at 26015, probably 28 asphalt, plenty of runway. And if we actually look at the flights real quick, and we go into like takeoff in here, you can actually do all of this. So we can load up the latest stuff and take off. See how this says 50% of flaps? You can actually see that. Safety distance factor 1.0. And you can adjust for all of that. Who are you in a call with? With my wonderful girlfriend, of course. Who else? Okay. Where's Charles? Oh, you'll see him in a little bit. Why are you talking like that? I'm talking normally. It's just because the mic is so close to my face. Anywho. Still loading up. Okay, runway. We're gonna take the asphalt. Jesus, a 10 knot crosswind. Ouch. I don't even. Oh, God. That is, you can say dry grass. But the thing is, because of it being so short, I don't want us to do that. Anywho, there we go. Runway 31. There's our slope. I'm just going to give all of this. We'll click refresh in here. You can use the latest METAR. Okay. That's our takeoff, and then click on info, and it gives you that, and then landing information. We'll probably take runway 16 left, or 22. 16 left, 16 right. It just depends on what the instrument, if there is an instrument approach in here. For the 16 is 16 right, there's a VOR approach. And there's an RNAV. So the VOR approach takes us. Is 10 too much for you? Okay, I'm done. Funny. Okay. The VOR that we're going in is the initial approach fix is the Midland VOR, which I don't even think we're not even going to that VOR, so we'll just do the RNAV 16 right. So that means our landing is going to be 16 right. And we'll just refresh this and cool. So now I wonder if my new briefing gives me like the takeoff and that kind of briefing as well. Why does this look like shit? There we go. Oops. Ooh, that looks really nice. Holy crap, what's our frame rate? It's like 90 frames per second. Jesus, that's nuts. I know I'm hilarious. Yeah, you're hilarious. You're hilarious, babe. There we go. Let's close that up. What's the call sign on this bad boy? 437 Sierra Romeo. Let's see. We can even choose like a different preset. This is preset 1. But this is preset 2. And this is preset 3. Let's choose something where we get that sunrise. So let's say the sun is like right here. This is preset 3. This is preset 2, and this is preset 1. I actually kind of like preset 1 the most. I think it looks just so stunning. Let's just get all of our chalks and covers on. Looks pretty. And the frame rates are so smooth. Okay. Should give me a takeoff and landing performance, does it not? No? That's fine. But, anywho. We're taking runway 31 for this departure. Okay. We're taking 2 people, actually. And if we look at the takeoff info here, our ground roll is 1,100 feet is what we can expect. But we're taking 2 people, average weight's 140. So let's go to oil is good. Actually, one thing I wanted to do was the engine accessories. Okay. Fuel system, oil system, change oil and filter serviced, right? Quartz, tires and brakes. PSI nose 29. Inflated tires of 52 PSI on main wheels, 30 PSI on nose wheel. New right babe, new. Okay. Cleaned and primed. Panels, oxygen. You have an overhaul engine, which we won't do just yet. Put in 1 passenger. Actually, let's take out the covers and tie downs here. Load up the passengers. Do that by. There's Charles, by the way, that you were asking about. Open up the doors and the baggage compartment. Okay, so there's me. There's you. Or we'll put you. Oops. Back here. Why does it have? Why are they wearing the cannulas? It's strange. Bless you. Yeah, why are they wearing the cannula? Let's turn that off. Okay. Fuel. Let's see what we're looking at. We'll fill this and fill oxygen. We were looking at 38 gallons of fuel, so that's about 16 on each side. So we'll fill that stuff up there. Okay. I think this is the stuff in the back. We'll put in like 30 pounds in the back. And then we'll close this up, take out the chocks, and we'll head inside. Alright. Actually, I take it back, the interior is the exact same. But there's a door. There's a door handle. Okay. Let's go ahead and go battery 1, battery 2. Got the AC is on. Let's put the key in. Get some instrument lights. Actually, we'll keep all of the lighting down, just except for our central lighting here, which is our strobe light, for engine start. So we'll just say, clear prop. Go in the right tank. I'll crack the throttle by about a little bit. And we'll go down here. You can actually take a look. This is our priming procedure that we're going to use. We're going to go mixture to rich. And then we're going to hold down the prime until we get peak EGT for 3 seconds. So 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. And let that go. Bring the mixture down. Turn on our boost pump. We'll crank it up for a little bit. Oh, almost got it. Okay. Might need a little bit more prime in it. Okay. we go. Bring the tack to about 1,000 RPM. Lean out that mixture. Okay. And alternator avionics. Cool. Okay. Let's get all of this going, and let's get some instrument lighting, some panel lighting. Actually, like, kind of cool. I'd say about there's pretty good. Confirm, fuel done as well. Tack's looking good, it's looking good. And so let's go to our checklist, and let's go to the before taxiing and taxiing checklist. Flaps are up, radios, avionics as required. Fuel, let's get some air conditioning going on. Let's make it a little bit less deadly. Fuel selector, while taxiing. So there's that checklist. Okay, so let's come down here and let's set up our flight plan. So KMRF to FST, the Fort Stockton VOR, and then to KMAF, Midland International. And under here, we can actually just load in our approach, which is the RNAV 16 right approach, GPS LPV, vectors, or we can take it to Prairie. We'll put in Prairie, and then we'll load the approach. Okay. It's our initial approach fix. And then you can just take this and you can just click remove KMAF, and then if you look at the flight plan, actually what you can do in here is you click on menu and then click preview, and there's the flight plan. So pretty good on that. And well, let's go to world traffic flight setup. Going to KMAF. Let's put that in here. KMAF. Going at, I think, like, let's just say 13,000. Honestly, it's fine there. And then that doesn't matter. SR22. You can just exit out of this stuff. Flight prop. And we'll say generate scheduled flights and general aviation flights, and we'll create all of that. Okay, so we have our flight plan in, and as far as takeoff goes, we're expecting runway 31. So 31 is what we'll say. You can click load procedure, departure. There's none, but we're taking runway 31, which it looks like we'll have to use a boost pump on. I don't think a boost pump's on. Okay, it looks like we'll have to use our Avatab, or well, looks like 31 should just be right around the corner here, right there. So we just need the local altimeter, which we can get by clicking the I key, and 3004. So 04 heading, we'll bug in 310. Is runway heading 310, and I totally forgot about our altitude here. And our altitude is going to be 15,000 feet, so pretty high on that. Heading bug, all that's good. Bearing, we'll put in Veloc 1. That's fine, I guess. Nav source. That's all fine. And yeah, ready to taxi. So we'll disengage the park brake, and we'll test the brakes. So to do that, I'll put in a little bit of throttle, and Okay, my brakes are working. Left brake, right brake. The brakes are working fine. Brakes are good. HSI, fine. Attitude gyro down here, which is fine. And we just need to make sure that's also set in our standby 3004. Okay. And turn coordinator, fine. So this is our before takeoff checklist. So we'll do that in our run up, which if you look at where we want to do the run up, we'll probably just do it like here. We'll do it on the ramp. That is where we'll do the run up. Look at this low wing, high wing. It's kind of cool. All right, so let's, if you know the wind's going to be this way, so let's just do that. And we'll just sort of straighten out the nose wheel here. Okay. So we'll pull the park brake and make sure we're at 1,000 RPM, which we are. So doors are latched, caps handle verify, pin removed. Seatbelts secure, shoulder harnesses good, fuel quantity is good, fuel selectors, fullest tank. We'll say that's going to be our left tank, so we'll switch it to our left tank and we'll get our boost pump on. Flaps at 50% and check. This is going to be 15. Visually see them and it's indicating, so they're locked. Transponder. I want to test this to see if it goes in altitude reporting when we take off. If it does, that'll be really cool. Autopilot. We'll check that, so we'll go autopilot on. And see how this goes into roll mode. So, oops. Let's take a look here. We want this to be at 310, but we'll push in the heading. Flight director is going to move to the right. And if we move it to the left, it's going to move to the left. Vertical speed, we can increase it. It's going to increase. And then decrease it. It's going to decrease. And then IS, I'm going to set it to our VY here anyways. And then we'll test the disengage feature here. So, see how the actual column is going to move. So let's do another thing. Let's push this in and let's bring it up. And then let's put the heading in and then switch it to the right. See, the column's going to start moving. Now, if I override it, I can see I can override it, and then we'll disconnect the autopilot. Okay. And disable the flight director, and we'll get the heading back to runway heading. So autopilot's tested, navigations is fine, cabin heat defrost is fine, brakes holding, power lever to 1700 RPM. So there we go, 1700 RPM. And we'll check the alternator test. So we're just checking the P leads here. If we go to the left, we drop by about 100, which is very close, but you can see that both mags here are working. And there's about a 40 RPM differential between the two magnetos, and both are within 100 RPM of a drop. So that's within limits. Pitot heat, nav, all of this stuff, if you actually look, like, is as required. We'll get it after we take we'll just turn it on now here. And we already did that. Power level back to 1000, which is not. Back down to 1000 here. Something like this and something like that. Okay, flight instruments are set. So let's just go left, right, top to bottom. On the instruments, that's still a little bit high on the power setting. Okay, so altimeter set 3004, cross-checked with our standby altimeter, and we have attitude is at the horizon, set here, and airspeed 0 is over here, and our indicated altitude is within 75 feet of our field elevation, and VSI is at 0. So those are flight instruments, HSI, and altimeter. Flight controls. So, Left aileron up, right aileron down, right aileron up, left aileron down. And we'll check the elevators here. So up, down, rudder, good. So flight controls are free and correct. Trim, we'll set that for takeoff. So we'll go down here and just trim up a little bit. Something like that should be good. And autopilot, we've already disconnected that. So now we get the takeoff checklist. We'll get that up while we take off. Under flight plan, what's cool is if you click crossfill, it'll actually crossfill it from the Garmin, which is so cool to see. Okay. We'll do a normal take. We could do a short field takeoff here. And at 85 is when we're gonna get the flaps up here. So, what we'll do is we'll probably do a we will probably do a normal takeoff here. Plenty of runway, so we'll do that. And we'll put it on the whoops, well, need a little bit of in-flight for the climb checklist. So, there we go. Okay, and crossing the whole short line, we're saying we have been cleared for takeoff, so landing lights coming on. Don't really need the panel lighting, so I'll get that out of the way. Alright, and mixture rich as well. And we will just increase the range here. Okay. Alright. We'll go power set. Alright. Jesus Christ, that's... Okay, and we'll rotate here. Alright. Ooh. Okay, above 80, positive VSI, flaps coming up. Now, that was a horrible takeoff. Now we're gonna lose a little bit of that lift. But the reason why that was so bad is because I didn't set it up straight. So what ended up happening is the nose wheel was kind of, the castering nose wheel was kind of tilted a little bit. So I needed to use some differential braking there to do that. Anywho, honestly, we should probably be, with this density altitude, be leaned on a mixture anyway, something like this for more power. We want to pitch down for 108, so something like this. And I'll make that right turn out here. Okay. What we'll do here is we'll get our heading sync, and then we'll have it to intercept our nav track. It's not a, might get a standard rate turn here. Looking good. We'll turn on the autopilot, IAS heading. So we're gonna go for pitch for 108 knots, climbing up to 1,500 feet, and we'll arm the nav option here and arm the altitude. So there we go. Shows us top descent all the way over there, but 15,000. This little naturally aspirated engine is kind of funny. All right, let's continue leaning out our mixture here. Probably what we'll do is we'll just get the fuel flow for max power fuel flow, basically. We're at about 8,000 here, so we'll look at 21 gallons per hour. We'll lean it out to 21 gallons per hour. And that should roughly give us a good amount of power here on this climb out. So we'll do that. It's pretty. Sure is pretty. You have a lead assist feature. So next altitude, we'll say once we're at 12,000, we'll go 18. So there we go. Overhead, just bring that down a little bit. But once we get to 10,000 feet, we're gonna get some oxygen. Look at the little mountains, pretty beautiful. And the sun, of course. Okay, so let's take a look here. Because we're like, well, go nav. There we go. There we go. It's very nice. It's pretty nice. Alright, passing through 10,000, landing lights coming off, and your oxygen on, and I don't fly this here, so take this with a grain of salt, but the oxygen flow, we set it to 10 here, should be good, or we'll set it to 150, so I'll set it to that. Should be good. Oh, and while we're still climbing, I created this schedule message, switch tanks, but we'll keep the boost pump on because we're still climbing. So. Now you can see I clearly need some right rudder. Now if I kick in some right rudder, this becomes more coordinated, which is what we'll do. Just maintain coordinated flight. There's no yaw dampener, unfortunately, so that's why it's kind of like that, but there you go. And CHTs are looking good as well, so there you go. There's also a lot of really cool features that you have in the Torquesim. First of all, the 3D modeling is just phenomenal. Alt-static source and alternate air source. A lot of circuit breakers and an ELT. On the other side here, there's the registration, which is, look at the lighting, the way the lighting is done in this, which is just phenomenal. And then this thing, which is, that is cool. This is your little, that's actually insane. Is that, oh, look at that. You have little coaster. Welcome back, welcome back. There's a little coaster for your cup. For, you know, if, what was I gonna say? If you want to carry some you know, mug with you. In the back, we got some 2 seats over here. Look at just how nice and luxurious this looks. Back here, you got audio input. Very nice. Very roomy. And then behind this is, of course, the luggage, which we actually have. What do we have in here? Oxygen. And you can actually take a look at the tank back here. See how we're full? So that's really cool. You have the POH, a sump, the little dipstick, and the little duffel bag. So pretty cool. Passing through 12,000, so we'll lean it out to 18 gallons per hour. So we're looking at something like that. Look at those EGTs rise, but this should be plenty good. VSI looks like it's like at 1600 or so. Some cirrus clouds, so on and so forth. Basically, I'm gonna reset this once we're done climbing, and then we'll do that. Okay. Also have the little lights, and then you can adjust how you want to place the lights. So. Look how sporty this looks. Okay, 14,000, probably looking still at that same 18 gallons per hour. And then once we reach our cruise altitude, we'll just lean it for that. I hate fairings, really. It's interesting, the aircraft that I fly over here at SIU, we don't have wheel fairings on ours. But the thing I don't like about this, the Cirrus, is it has a cast string nose wheel, which is just dramatically different in terms of how it feels to fly. And in fact, it almost feels like you're doing a soft field landing every time you fly this damn thing. So, there you go. We'll just go ahead and reset that now. And then in 30 minutes, it'll tell us to switch the tanks. But oil pressure is good, oil temperature is good. Power is at 58%. I think we said 65 is the power setting, but we're probably going to be closer to 55% on our power setting. And we'll turn on lean assist here, lean assist, and we will bring it back a little bit more. We'll just lean out that mixture. And I'm going to just reduce some of that rudder input that I had in. And boost pump can come off. Let's go to the checklist. We'll just say cruise. Oxygen as required, fuel pump off, cruise power set, mixture lean as required. So, cruise power setting that we want is, let's just say full power, or as close as we can get to full power, and we'll just lean it out accordingly. So look how lean this mixture is. There's so much air going into the engine right now. It's kind of nuts. So there's the peaks, and this is lean of peaks. So I'm just gonna inch in a little bit more. And my mouse is like screaming at me on its battery. Which oh. Okay, well, never mind. But I'm trying to see what my look at that. So we can actually enrich it just a smidge. Oh wow, it's actually peaking even more. Let's enrich it a little bit more. And now we're getting, yeah, rich of peak, which is what we want. Got some love in the chat. But yeah, this is what we want. Rich of peak. Second, fourth, and sixth. These cylinders are at minus 45, 25, 30, 30. If you actually click on the engine, there you can see the 6 cylinders. And you can see that our second cylinder is at 336 versus our first cylinder, number 1 here, is 335. Oh, what is this cylinder then? Well, that's like 45. It's like, is that the 6th cylinder, I think? It's interesting. Anyhow. If you look at, whoops, not traffic. VNav, you can see that we're probably, I mean, if we do this, we're chasing a 3-degree flight path, but it's such a steep rate of descent, we can choose 500 as our rate of descent. So we have about 12 minutes here. OMGM stuff, not yet. So there you go. Ground speed's 212 knots on the ground, which is nuts. So that's actually nuts. Just zooming across. So, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go fill up one of my waters, and I'll be back in no time. So, be right back. All right, I'm back, and let's take a look here at the state of. Getting pretty close to that top of descent here. About 7 minutes. So we could start briefing that approach procedure. You know what we plan on doing for the approach. So let's take a look here. So FST VOR, and then put in here. So ooh, look at that cloud layer above us. Okay, let's take a look at what the sim is telling our expected. Cool, because if you put in here routes, departure, airport code, and all that. But anyway, we're looking at KMRF, I believe. Oh, that's. But MRF to. Why can't I find the? Can't even remember it. It's KMAF. So KMAF 260 at 15. 260 at 15, and we're coming in on runway 16. That makes sense. What are the options? The other options. Okay. 26. We could come in on 28. We'll do that. Let's do that. Okay. Let's select approach. Change it to RNAV 28 LPV. Easy. Load approach. So now we're going to Fort Stockton. Easy. Our initial approach fix. Yeah, that should be good because the airport 260 at 15. 28, that'll be pretty good. And airport info. Well, not airport info, but airport parking spot. Is it really? Welcome back, thank you. Is it really that KMAF right now? KMAF 250. Yeah, it is. It is coming from the southwest. So interesting. Or sorry. Yeah, southwest. Why is it raining? We got rain here. Precip. Outside air temperature minus 11 degrees. Not sure where the precip's coming from, but this is our outside air temperature is below freezing, and we have visible moisture. We might as well just put some ice protection on. Although there is no icing here, and I don't know where that precip is coming from, but I'd assume from some of those clouds. 28 means that we can just take it, and then we'll go to the north ramps of Papa. Is what we can expect. And there we go. So 4,700, and got about 16 minutes until well, that's with that 500. We got about a minute. So we'll go down to 4,700. We'll bug that in our altitude here. 4,700, and then we'll put in minus 500 on our VSI, and then go ahead and click vertical speed and arm the altitude. As easy as that. And then we'll just slowly enrich the mixture as we descend. So, there you have it. So what we'll do now is go into the flight plan. You can see the approach. You can just click activate approach. So easy. And we have a holding procedure here at easy, but we can just, there we go. So what we'll do is we'll just go past the holding procedure. Under the flight plan, there's the hold at easy. So there you go. Let's also take a look at the altitude. Still 4,700 initial to that, but there you go. And I think we still are good in terms of the scheduled messages. It's got about 16 minutes till that goes out. So let's run through our descent checklist. Altimeter. Oh, that's the another thing we need to get. What's our altimeter? 29 or 9 or 7. So let's do that. 29 or 9 or 7. Barrow, 29 or 9 or 7. And cross check that with this standby. So altimeter set, cabin heat's good. Oh, now we don't need any ice protection. Okay. Fuel system good. Mixture as required. Brake pressure check. Oxygen as required. Or before landing checklist. Okay. There's 3 people watching you right now. That's crazy. Who are you in? I'll give you a performance. Okay. The IG I just sent you is crazy. Yeah, I saw. Okay, 13,000. What we can do is slowly enrich our mixture and just slowly bring this down. Cool. There's our bottom of descent. Gosh. There's our bottom of descent. It's all looking good. So about to come through 2,000 when we do that gallons per hour. We're looking at about 18 gallons per hour. Right now I'm just going to slightly enrich it. And we're at 65% power right now. So I kind of want to do the turbo. The prop animation is really nice on this aircraft. I will say that. All right. So take a look at this. I don't know why it's so blown up, but too easy. And you have all of this: oil temperature, oil pressure, gallons per hour, 7.7. We only use about 8 gallons of fuel here. Now, if you look at flight plan, you can go here and you can click activate leg, and that'll take us from easy to C line. you can also just remove the hold. You can click edit hold, exit hold, all of that stuff. But we're not even going to be doing the hold, or I don't think we are, at least. But we'll see. We'll see what it does. Okay, 1-2000, we want 18 gallons per hour. We'll just go 18 gallons per hour. Okay, and our density altitude, it's going to be pretty dense, so we want a pretty decent... We want to lean out our mixture when we're coming in to land, basically, because, like, for example, if you look at the field elevation, 28 to, I don't know. I think we can get away with it. But we'll have to see. For the most part, it looks like we can get away with that. All right. Below 10,000, we'll get our landing lights on. And again, look at the texture work that was done here. Isn't it just awesome? Oops. Just fantastic. Certified for the following day, night, VFR, IFR. Oh, here we go. Flight into known icing is approved. Operate per airplane flight manual. Interesting. Let me get some, gonna get some water. Okay. I might have passed through 10,000. And what's cool in this is just our active flight plan, but if I show onto nav, you'll actually see that, which is pretty cool, I think. Garmin, and yeah. This shows that we're 41 nautical miles out from that point here. But since we're doing a 500 foot per minute descent at redline, basically. All right, we're at 10,000 or 10,000, so we can interpolate that to be about 20 gallons per hour. 19 gallons per hour, I should say. So we'll just enrich it to a little bit more. Something like that would be good. And that's going to go a little bit more if we go to the engine. It'll be pretty good. It's so flat here, though. That's the only thing that kind of sucks. Alright. Going about 220 on the ground. And let's look at... Now, honestly, the pro move here would have been to get very close to the initial approach fix, and then just pitched down for whatever we're at, like 170 or so, like 170. That would have been a like super smart thing to do, but obviously not super smart in that case. So, yeah. Anywho, the next stream, guys, is going to be next Thursday, and we're going to have a proper stream overlay and stream graphics for that. That is exciting. And as far as a webcam goes, if we get to maybe 10 viewers per average, 10 viewers, I think it's worth the investment. Until then, it's just kind of a dumb decision, but yeah. I wonder if you could see if they're... Yeah, this lady is not wearing her seatbelt. So, or, well, they are. It's the only caveat is the seatbelt is going through her. Just look at the... Yeah, that's gotta hurt. Oh, and down here you can actually check the oxygen. So we'll actually check that later here. But we actually don't even need our supplemental oxygen now. So there you go. Oops. With the seatbelt. I guess it's realistic since you don't wear your seatbelt anyways. So. Okay, we'll choose up to 20 gallons per hour here. So something like this. Okay. That's good. Manifold pressure is looking good as well. We're fine. Not when I'm driving. Well, we better be wearing it when you're driving. We're getting so close to red line here. Look at that. So close to red line. We actually need to do something about this and pull back on the throttle a little bit. It will bring the power back down to about 70%. You're the one that makes me put it on? Yeah, well, of course I'm the one that makes you put it on. I mean, I shouldn't even have to tell you to put it on. But here we are. Not if you don't see. Yeah, well, I know that. And that's... I don't like that, but... Okay, 4,700, which is what we have in here. Vertical speed up. Cool. And we're doing it. Oh, it does. No way. So what I was saying was, I wonder if this automatically goes into the altitude reporting transponder once we are basically take off, and it does, which is really, really cool. What is in here? Okay, well, I'm not gonna keep on touching things that I don't know the answer to, but cool. It's hard leaving me alone. Okay, fair enough. 8,000, so we want to be at 21 gallons per hour. So we really want to enrich the mixture by quite a bit here. And we'll take a little bit of air out of the engine, so a little bit of throttle out. You sound like a bubble guppy. You look like one, so. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. You can touch me. Now, why don't you say it in the YouTube chat, huh? Too scared for that? And this gives you like a shit ton of things. You actually see the names of the airways, but we don't need all that crap. 2, 3. Also change the base map, so this is TAWS. Which is pretty cool. You can have it off, the no base map. Or you can have what I have, the base map. And you which is okay, but what I like is the terrain base map. No, you don't. I'll say it. Yeah, okay. Sure you will. There's the class Delta as well. So, and there's civilization. We actually have some civilization out there in the distance. It's not like completely desolate. So, what's actually interesting is the checklist for the after, or the shutdown checklist for this tells you to cycle the mags. But what actually happens is if you cycle the mags, is you can risk blowing out the compressor because you might, well, I won't start talking out of my ass, but I said in reference to when you said about touching things you don't know about, you can touch me. I ain't scared of you. Okay. Okay. What's so funny is I can put you in timeout in the YouTube thing. There's an option for me to put you in timeout. So I guess if you're scared of anything, it's be scared of me putting you in timeout. Okay. So once we get there, you said I wouldn't. Oh. Anyhow. I wonder what happened to my... I'll kill myself. You won't. This is America. Fair enough. Fair enough. Look at us zooming across. Awesome. Oh, we need to put in a little bit of rudder. I just need a little bit of right rudder. Something like that. Boom. Maybe a little bit more. Like that. Now you can see it's more in sync. There we go. So, there we go. Free speech, baby, yeah. Yeah. Free speech and all that. 23 gallons per hour. So, that's just mixture rich at this point. And... we'll get our boost pump on once we're at our initial approach fix, we'll get the boost pump on. Because we are switch tanks. So let's do that. 4,700. We're about 7.8 miles from it. So 7.8 miles, pretty good. Once it gets to below 5 miles, we can actually IAS it down, but let's go ahead and switch over to our right tank. And I guess what we can do is, because we're about 1,000 feet off, so about 2 minutes. And if we look at the 2 minutes, well, yeah. So I mean, we should be like getting exactly at that initial approach fix point. So, but we want to be at about 50% power when we're at that initial approach fix, and we want to be at about 120 knots, I believe. So, 50%. We want to be at about 120 knots. So that'll let us basically be within limits. Did you hear about the Boeings? I need a tip. Yeah, you do. The only thing that happened with any Boeings is just the 737 MAX. Its door just flew off. I think it was something with the lug nut, or something along those lines. They didn't put a cotter pin, something like that. So, something along those lines. And the 757 thing is just because it's a maintenance issue and a product assembly line issue, but that's because of how old those aircrafts are. So it's just the news. Yeah, the FAA is grounding the old 737 MAX or something like that. It's the specific one that has that overwing exit or something along those lines. Okay, approach. bring back that power because we are right at yellow line, and we don't want to get, you know, into or past yellow line because of, well, it's going into a hold here. The hold. Just because we're a little bit, we're actually are a little bit, high here, so we're just gonna get down to 4,700, which we're at right now. And then what we'll do here is, so I just wanted to see what it would do if it would actually do that if you do that. But what we can do here is, should be able to click exit hold, but apparently not. So see what it does. In the map, see how it loops around by about an 8 nautical mile thing, but we don't need it to do that. So if I say, for example, activate hold, and we click that, and then I say, well, let's just say activate leg, this will lean, and take a look at what it does here. Just curious as to what it does. Can you do maneuvers in this? Yeah, we can do a couple maneuvers. This is almost, not, yeah, maybe almost a steep turn. We're almost at a 30-degree bank. So, but yeah, we can just stick at this altitude and be fine. We also want to be pretty fast as we're coming in because we're still basically at our initial approach fix here, which is easy. We're about 5 miles out from easy. And I just want to see what I did with the hold. Let's do the 8 sometimes. The lazy 8s. We can do the lazy 8s in a different airplane. Because it would be completely different in this plane. But we can do it in a different plane. Maybe. Okay. So should be there. You can see approach, altitude, glide slope. All of that. The actual airport, it should be just, if you just zoom straight in and on and on and on, you can actually see the runway right there. I wouldn't be able to see this in person though. I wouldn't be able to make out the runway for a good amount of time. We can stick at the 76% power, just so we can get there a little bit quicker. I'll run through the checklist. Before landing, seatbelts, shoulder harnesses are secured. Fuel pump on boost. Fuel selectors on the fullest tank, which is on the right tank here. Mixtures full rich. Flaps as required, autopilot as required. And then we have the box landing go around, which you don't really need after landing. So we'll keep this on. So there you go. What I think is really, really cool is, for obviously the textures, but look at how nice the screen, the LED screens look. That's just really, really well done. So there you go. At this moment, would say Cirrus, whatever our call sign is, that we are, you know. The cool thing too is you can actually click on the livery generator and click on panel placard, and there it is, November 437 Sierra Romeo. But yeah, we're still, you know, honestly, we didn't even have to do the holding pattern because this is also 4,700, so we're just kind of hanging around at this low altitude. Pretty decent speed. I'd probably, and we're past our initial approach fix here, so I mean we could slow down a little bit to about 120. Then at our intermediate fix, I should say. So what we can do is we can, at our intermediate fix, we'll slow down to about 120 knots. And then we'll go flaps 1, and then we'll configure for landing. That is our game plan. So. Look at the city in the background. can actually see a good amount of it. Pretty nice. And okay, we're coming up at our intermediate fix here. What we'll do is we'll bring the power back to about 50%. Probably take a little bit of rudder out because we're not having nearly as much torque and P factor at this power setting. It still needs some right rudder though. Like right about there should be good. And as far as we have a pretty decent crosswind component here, because it's 250, so we still do have a pretty decent crosswind component. You can actually click on the range view and you can adjust. I don't think you can actually. Oh yeah! Oh look at that! You can actually adjust it. You have a 5 nautical mile range. Pretty cool. Anywho, we're at 140. We want to slow down. We want to slow down to about 120 knots. Let's bring that power back. To do that, we'll do that, and then when we vacate the runway, this thing. We vacate the runway. We just want to take. I think we're taking 28 is right here. We'll see. We'll see. We're vacating left. It looks like so. Should be this one. Yeah, because 28 is more south though. Okay. All right. Fuel. We have a fuel warning. Although we're looking plenty fine on fuel. Okay, below 120, we'll go flaps 1. And then once that's gonna really do this, we'll put in a little bit more power, about 50% of power. Make sure the power setting is also looking good, which it is. Because if you look at the gallons, right, we have about 20 gallons remaining. So, you know, about 10 in each tank, so plenty fine. Oh wow, we are really pitching down here. So go ahead and close the throttle. Get back in that white arc. Make sure that we're not actually discharging our amps here, but there we go, within the white arc. And 100%. Add a little bit more power, maybe about, you know, 15% of power, about 1950 on the tack. 1900 on the tack. And about 80, 85 is where we want to be. So this pitch angle too is where I want to be.
500.
So let's get that flight director out of the way. Please. Okay. So a little bit more power. And I'll kick over a little bit more rudder so that we have a little bit more of a center line. Something like this is good. And we really want to be at like maybe 85 because of, I kind of wish I had roll. I signed the roll trim because then it would be easier to do this. But look at that, 13 hour, a little bit of a crosswind here. I just want to sort of slip it in. So yeah, I definitely do wish I had that roll trim assigned to my flight control stick, but nonetheless, still looking good. Really need to kick over some rudder here. Like, wow. Okay. Going in. Okay. All right. Flaps up. Okay, nice. We're gonna take this at Papa here. So power lever, fuel pump off. Flaps are up. Transponder, it should hit to ground there. We'll take Papa. And then lights, speed of heat. Cool. There's a shutdown checklist. So let's do heat off. So do that. Dang, we're very nice. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and take this north ramp here and get our landing light out of the way. So there's the non-movement area. We'll just park up next to that Cessna. So this is mag rounding check. To cycle the mags, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go mixture cutoff and then take off our mags. Or get our mag switch to off here. So go ahead and go idle. And we'll pull back on the power. And this will basically, or pull back on the stick and it'll put in a little bit of power here. And we're just going to make sure that our nose wheel strut is pretty and set that. Throttle is idle. And the mixture cutoff all switches off. So we'll go nav light off, avionics off. And then we'll go mixture cutoff. We're gonna wait for the prop to stop spinning here, which it did. And we'll go mag switches off. Alternators off, and batteries off, strobe light off, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome down into, well, I forgot the name of this airport, but yeah, welcome down. Very nice landing. You have this thing, which I think is for chalks. Yeah. You can go ahead and chalk it up. It's pretty cool. What we'll do here is we'll, whoops, close the doors and take out the key, but I'm just gonna get the battery on and get the lights set. So, if we look at the replay mode, we should be able to look here. Should have some lights. Well, apparently not, but it's fine. There's another guy coming in to land. There's a Southwest coming in to land. Wow. But we were like right here. So let's do that. Shift 2, please. Let's put you right here. Take a look at that landing. That was a pretty nice landing, I think. So, let's take a look. I thought it was a pretty nice landing. Centerline was, it's not bad. It takes a little bit of learning for the Cirrus jet, though. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So, something like this. closer a little bit. Some screenshots, basically. Same thing. We're just looking for some screenshots, some screen grabs. Bless you. Like that. And this one up. Let's do one from here. Take a look like this. So that'll do it for me. I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.